Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Beela, and I'm coming to you with another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 3, Hasta Leticia, baby. I guess. Well, Leticia was the main person in this episode, child, so we gonna get into it. Don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe if you get anything out of my commentary. The more you like my videos, the more it goes through the algorithm and more people will start to view my content on the way to 3,000. And let's go. The episode picks up where it left off from last episode when Leticia and Kiki were doing the little boxing exercise, and then they decided to sit down and have a conversation. So, they were going back and forth, pretty much who's right, who's wrong. Kiki didn't take accountability for anything, but Leticia just really wants to get to the root of the problem. Like, what is wrong? Like, what is the issue? And then Kiki says, you took my friend from me. And then Tisha was kind of confused, like, huh? What you mean? Who is your best friend? Talking about you. You took my friend, my best friend. And Leticia was like, me? How did I take me from me? Me from you or something like that. And she was just like, when she was going through all of that stuff, Leticia started to fall back. And Leticia was just like, yeah, I had to, because there was a lot going on. And she was like, and she was pregnant at the time. And there was no way that she could really just try to be there for you and then be there for herself too, when everything that Kiki was doing to her was really draining her energy. So she had to choose herself in that moment. And then Kiki brings up, they were having an argument, and she made it seem as though she didn't remember exactly what she said to Leticia when they were arguing, because at this time Leticia was pregnant. And Tisha said that Kiki told her, F you and that baby. I said, what? So she said this in the front yard, in front of the whole neighborhood, F you and that baby? Okay. So, yeah, okay. And then and Kiki was just like, yeah. She said, I don't remember because I was in a bad place, but I do remember y'all mentioning that to me. And then also Leticia said, and yes, Kiki, you were taking my pills. I just had a C-section. I was in pain and I needed my medicine. Then I go, now I'm ad-libbing now. Then I go to the medicine cabinet thinking I can get this medicine, and it's all gone because you got it. But anyway, but again, she said, okay, well, yeah, yeah. She said she was in a bad place then. And she was just saying, like, she wants to take accountability. She is. And she just said, well, you know what? I just really want to move forward. Kiki said, I will be mindful of what I say and the things that I have said about her and her marriage, because they keep bringing up the whole marriage situation, all the comments that she made when they was back over there at Melody's party. We won't have to go through all of that. And so then they said that, Kiki said that she wants to make a truce. And she said she wants to make a truce, and she really just wants to move forward. And she's going to make it a point. She said she feels like we're not going to ever talk about this again. And then that's when, Leticia, she invites her out to the event party that she's having. And, they kind of hug it out. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully they can move forward in this situation. And I know Kiki would always say because last season, nobody never really talked about what Kiki did. And everybody always kind of looked, because a lot of people don't like Tisha and Marceau anyway, they always kind of looked at them as if they were the bad person, because they really wasn't spilling everything that was going on between them and the family. They wanted Kiki to tell her story. And now that she is telling her story, that gives Leticia liberty to, tell too, because she was a part of her story. And child, woo, I said I would have had to hold back on Kiki too, because you're gonna have to get yourself together for real. And Tisha even said, we just go make this progress. I need you to really do what you say you gonna do, and so that's pretty much it. So now we have this whole conversation between Marceau and his daddy, his dad, Mark. Daddy Mark, he comes to Black for the first time since it's been built, and he's looking around and he's amazed. He's proud of his son. They looking at the stools. What are those? Them stools, daddy. You know, what are those? These cigars, daddy. You know, ooh, let's get some of these. You know, so they get the cigars and they sit down, and then they just having a good father-son moment. And pretty much the dad, and they reminisce, you know, memory lane when Maurice was trying to smoke grass, I guess. You know what? I remember when I was young, I had wrapped up some paper and I put some grass in it and I tried to smoke it. When I tell you that stuff burnt my throat, I said, I'm not doing that no more. Anyway, it ain't about me. It's about them. So the daddy, he starts to just say, hey, you know, I'm proud of you, but you need to take some time and live a life. And the dad says, you know, I didn't go on my first cruise till I was 50 years old. And Maurice is just like, well, you know, he says he tries to live every day like it's his last. Like he tries to work hard as much as he can because he doesn't know when it will end. And the daddy is just trying to tell him, like, I don't need you to repeat the same cycles that I did. You know, he would go in on holidays just to get the overtime at General Motors. And he said his dad did the same thing. And by the time you get home, son, you don't want to go home and your son is grown and your wife got gray hair and you looking like, where did the time go? And which is true because, I mean, you do have to live in the moments. He even mentioned that God even took a day off and you working more than God. Daddy, he ain't working more than God. Even on God's day off, he worked. Anyway, so it's just a simple point that Maurice has to spend more time with his family. He doing too much. He need to get somewhere and sit down before he realized he gonna be 50 years old and ain't never went on no cruise like his daddy. But Marceau did go to Africa without his wife and his kids. So he going somewhere. He just ain't taking the kids and his wife. All right, but you know, I guess he listen and he gonna try to, I guess, comprehend what the daddy is saying. So that was it. All right, so now you have Leticia and Kimmy. They have this whole sit down. Of course, they pleasantries. Hey, girl, you cute, woo, 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 right? So Kimmy is like, hold on, Tisha. Why are you all the way over here? Why are you all the way on the other side of Huntsville? So that's when Leticia dropped the bomb like Marceau to moved his new business partner in. I didn't know that I thought he was just going to be a business partner. I think his name is Gino. He moved him in and gave him my desk and put his diploma on the wall. Keep me looking like, what? So you ain't got nowhere to sit, girl. Now I ain't got nowhere to sit now. I just ad-libbed that, y'all. Don't be talking about that ain't what they said. I put my own spin on things, okay? So Kimmy said, well, you know, you can always come down to where they at and get you a little office space building because, you know, they have some office space building. But Leticia said, well, Marceau said he gonna build me. They got the Scott Realty coming up and he's building her some type of office or something that'll be done by the end of the month. But she said, but you know how Marceau is. He said by the end of the month, but stuff don't get done. Just like y'all said, y'all's gonna be living in that house for about a year, and it's been a foe. And come to find out now they living in an apartment. So I don't know what they got going on. It ain't my business. It's theirs. All right. So Leticia is really trying to get advice. She's like, look, I know we've been married longer than y'all have, but I still always, you know, she keep hitting these brick walls with Marceau. She's just trying to figure out how is it that Kimmy and Maurice can have civilized conversations and she can get her point across without there being an argument. But Kimmy said, look, it's always the argument. Y'all just don't see the argument. Y'all just see the outcome. And Kimmy says that, you know, a lot of times she couples her words with like, I think, or, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion. And then she also says that timing is everything. You know, you got to pick the right time. And it's maybe after a session. No, maybe before a session. I don't know. Inside the session. Get it in or whatever y'all gonna do. But, you know, you just got to figure out how to do it and how to make it to where you're not judgy or you're not trying to, I guess, place all the blame on him when it be his blame. So he won't become defensive. So put it from your point of view instead of just saying, this is what you're doing to me. This is what you're doing to me. So teacher said, okay, that's good advice, right? And then while they're sitting there talking, the phone rings and it's ring, 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 ring. Hello? Hey girl, what you doing? It's Melody on the phone. And she said, I know you going through all your stuff with your, chemo and all that stuff, but I want to know if you can get a massage. And then Kimmy just like, oh yeah, I can do that. But I'm sitting here with Leticia and we over here, we chopping it up, we having lunch or whatever. And then Leticia's just like, oh, that's me. Can I talk to her? And Kimmy looking at her like, what? So you want to talk to me? She was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to her. So Kimmy like, well, Mel, Tisha wants to talk to you, so I'm going to give you the phone. Give Tisha the phone to talk to you. So Tisha gets on the phone and she's telling Melody, hey, how you doing? Whatever. And then she says, I got this thing coming up, and I want to invite you to this event. It's I guess relaxing, massages, and all that stuff. Would you come? And then Melody was just like, she kind of was a little hesitant, but she said, okay, yeah, that's cool. It's cool. Just tell Kimmy to give me the details or whatever, because ain't nobody got me a phone number. Now Kimmy got it. Yeah, I wanted to me a call on the burner phone or the real phone. Maybe it's the real phone since she said, hey, Mel. But anyway, so she said, okay. And then because Kimmy was saying in her confessional, she was like, girl, now, Melody and Tisha on this phone. Now, when Kimmy first came in there, she said the place was real quiet, right? She said, but when they got on that phone together, she was like, child, this place going to go from being quiet to all H-E double breaking through. Everybody gonna hear what they got going on. But surprisingly, everything went well. Mel accepted the invitation and it was good. And then they got off the phone and Kimmy was just like, I'm back. I'm feeling good. I don't want y'all to keep leaving me out of stuff. I want to be involved in what y'all got going on. And Leticia said, you know what? Since you are feeling good, this what you want. We're going to invite you to everything. And Kimmy like, hold on, not everything. But for the most part, they not going to leave Kimmy out. And that's pretty much it with that conversation. All right. So here we have Leticia and Marceau. So they having family dinner time, right? The kids, they was playing chess and all that stuff. And then after that, they sit around a dinner table. And Marceau is bringing up, ain't y'all kids happy that your mama here to cook for y'all? Don't y'all want her here every night cooking? And they looking at him like, what? Like, why you bringing that up? And the kids was like, well, you can do it. And the one of the little girls, she was like, yeah, the tables have turned. Like, you can cook too. We ain't gotta always put on mama. You got 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, fingers to pick up a fork and a spoon, a pan, a pot, boil some water. You can do it too, daddy. And then the son, he over there, he just like, you know what, daddy? That's like, I wouldn't want my partner to talk to me like that. Like, I wouldn't allow my partner to talk to me like, pretty much, daddy, you being disrespectful. Like, don't be talking to my mama like that. What's wrong with you, daddy? I'm getting older now. But, I mean, it is what it is. And Marcel was kind of taken aback, like, oh, so you on your mama's side? But Leticia was like, yeah, that's a boy. He gonna take up for his mama, especially when you got a good mama. You finna do my mama like that, you got her messed up. So they end up, kind of laughing about it. And Marcel said, I hope he know it's just jokes. Nah, that wasn't no joke. That was for real. You don't want her to do nothing. You want her to sit at home and do nothing. I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's for the camera or for everybody. But anyway. So after all the kids go upstairs, Leticia and Marcel had this whole conversation, right? And Leticia, she tries to bring up the conversation. She tries to bring up what's going on in the office. And well, before she tries to bring it up, and she was saying to Marceau, I know because you're not a woman, you don't really understand how I feel. And he said, well, that's not fair because I can say the same thing because you're not a man, you don't understand how I feel. And it's always, every time Leticia try to express herself or give her point of view, he always tried to turn around and make it about himself. And he needs to listen. The whole thing is about communication because he started talking about he talked with his daddy. Child, your daddy told you to take time for your family. He didn't tell you to be out here disrespecting your wife. Anyway, but Leticia still tries to come back and say, I'm 85% majority owner. God, you 85% and you still letting this man tell you what you can and cannot do? You the owner. He's the president. And at the end of the day, I felt the owner should have the right to do the hire and the fire. Even if it's not the, okay, hold on, let me get it right. Even if the owner has people in place to do so, at the end of the day, if the owner says, I don't want him here no more, then the owner can do that because it's the owner's company. He has the right, and she's 85%. So, and Marceau trying to make it seem like, oh, football analogies. You know, you got the owner, and then you got the quarterback, and he's hired to make the plays. But my husband is a strong Cowboys fan. I have no idea why, because they always losing. Try to get their hopes up to get beat down. But Jerry Jones, if he's the owner of the Cowboys, and if Jerry Jones say no, then it's a no. Even though he hired Tony Romo and Dak Prescott and whoever else and fired Zeke and all these other people, when Jerry Jones say no, it's no. And when Jerry Jones say yes, it's yes, because that's his company. He hired people. So you can skip me with that, Marcel. I know that's your wife and you don't want to work with her no way, but Leticia, you got the right, because when you walked in there and saw that man sitting at your desk with his diploma and everything sitting there, you had every right to say, you need to get up out of my office because that is your place. I mean, that's what I would have did. Child, I don't know the agreement they got going on. But Leticia is just like, we need to communicate better, because when you feel some type of way, if you walked in your space and somebody else was sitting there, he really would. But he tried to bring it, say, well, you know, that place isn't bringing in any commodity. What you mean ain't bringing in any commodity? She making you multi-millions. Y'all company is where it is now because she was sitting at that desk bringing in commodity. So what is going on? Child, Tisha, girl, you in danger, girl. Now this better be for cameras, cause your man ain't changed, and he already done expressed plenty of times that he don't want y'all don't. He ain't good with y'all working together, no way. He wants you to be at home barefoot and flipping over pancakes. But anyway, y'all gonna have to figure that out. Y'all do need better communication, cause child, you got me messed up. I done gave y'all all this money, 85% of the company. You gonna tell me I ain't got no right to say who can come up in here and take my desk? Child, bye. Anyway, so this the day of the party, right? So everybody together, they meeting up. The first person that came in, it was Leticia. You know, she doing the pleasantries, talking to the lady. Then Kimmy comes in, and they talking about, you know, they want it to be drama free and all that stuff. You know, cool. Stormy comes in. Stormy, her concern is Melody. You know, they said since they if the energy between them is going to be weird, you know, so that's her concern. Tiffany comes in, and Tiffany has an issue with Kiki, unbeknownst to Leticia. She didn't know that until they had a whole sit down. And child, Tiffany is going to tell y'all how she really feel, okay? But anyway, and then, you know, Tisha talking about their robes, and, you know, the robes are a little sexy. Sissy. Her robe's a little sissy. And, for some reason, when Tisha put her robe on, her boobs were falling out. But then when Kimmy went and put her robe on, it fit just right. Now, Kimmy said, now, how is it that your robe, my robe fit me just fine, and your robe don't? So do you think that did you get a smaller size? Do you think that you smaller than me? I just thought that was funny, because that's stuff that, like, real sisters that have that banter would say to each other. I would say that to my cousin or my sister-in-law. So I'm like, girl, what you trying to, what? So you think you smaller than me? Anyway. But yeah, I thought that was real funny. And so they talk like that, and they start talking about how Kiki and Tisha look alike. Yeah, Kiki and Tisha look alike. And Kiki talking about, child, that's a compliment. Wow, they show like saying that's a compliment. That's a compliment. And then Tiffany is like, oh, that's a compliment that you think that Tisha looks like you. And expect, you know what? When somebody don't like you, they just think you ugly. Now, mind you, Kiki ain't ugly. Ain't none of them ugly. Ain't none of them girls ugly. All those girls are beautiful girls. But when you don't like somebody, child, they just be ugly. They energy ugly. They inside ugly. They hair be ugly. They shoes be ugly. Everything just be ugly because I don't like you. And I think your attitude is ugly. So you be ugly. And I know what you was doing, Tiffany, when you made that comment. But anyway, so they all sitting down, and then they, you know, talking. And then Tiffany brings up the whole puppet. Oh, so did I get my puppet? because Tisha said y'all got socks and all this stuff. So she said, "What is this? Y'all get the puppet?" And Leticia was like, "Come on now, don't do that. Don't act like a kid. And then she said, kids. Okay, I had to go back and read. I like the puppet. Oh, okay, because Tisha said, "You want me to, get you a puppet for your for your child?" And then she was like, "No, like the way you did Mel and Kiki." And then that's when um Tiffany was like, "Well, if you act like a kid, then you get a puppet." And they were just like, "Calm down, Tiffany, calm down, because I don't want to have to put you out." It was kind of a little joke. I don't want to have to kick you out. And so Kimmy getting her confession, she was like, "Child, Tiffany then came up here with the mess." You know what I'm saying? And she said she was glad that Mel wasn't there when she did that whole puppet bit because she didn't want that to rub out the wrong way with Melody. So yeah. But now Melody comes in and she is greeted with champagne from Tisha. And, everybody, and Mel was like, she was excited to be there and she got a little cold, but she gonna go ahead and be there. She was excited that Leticia brought her out. And I was like, Mel, you might need to keep a cold because your voice don't sound as high. And it is good. It's okay. But they get okay, and so now all of them are together, right? And so the lady comes in and she's just like, okay, so we have all these different rooms and they got these sound. What's a sound bath? So they just sit in a room and listen to sounds bounce off a wall in the dark. I guess that's relaxing, child. I don't know. I ain't never had a sound bath. So it's a lot of sounds in a room that's dark. You just hear so I guess that's relaxing. All right. It is what it is. So Tisha so Tisha and Kimmy go into the I guess they in there with some laser beams on their face. I forget what that room was, child. They looking like Darth Vader, Luke, I am your father. And they over there, Kimmy and Leticia, Kiki getting a massage, and Mel, of course, Mel and them in that sound room. So Leticia tells Kimmy, like, Kimmy said, she wanted to relax or whatever. Tisha said she trying to, but she can't because she can't not stop thinking about what Tiffany was saying about them, the puppets and all this stuff, right? That's when they brought up, she glad that Mel won there and all this stuff, right? So then you have Melody and them in the other room, and they were singing. Tiffany was bringing up the thing with Leticia and Kiki, and she was saying like she really don't understand how Kiki is pretty much when Kiki was just being messy, talking about Leticia's marriage and they supposed to be family, but she's throwing Leticia under the bus. And she was asking Melody, like, so you're friends with Kiki, like, what is she really like? Because I really don't know her. And Melody said, well, she's not that bad. Child, okay, well, she's not that bad. So what is it? Because she said that and if she's not that bad, like what is she? Like, how do you feel about her? What's like Tiffany was trying to get the input from Melody so Melody can talk about Kiki and Tisha's situation. But we all know that Melody ain't really trying to be on that type of time. She ain't trying to be talking about Kiki and Tisha and all the problems they got going on. Even though Mel introduced Kiki to the group and led them conversations to talk about Leticia. So I don't even think she even want to defend Tisha in any kind of way. So she starts talking about, ooh, this room. Ooh, the colors. Do you feel the energy, the colors? And then Stormy over there looking like, girl, you ain't studying these colors in this room. Ooh, the colors. Ooh. And then Tiffany is like, so is that a deflection? Is that what you're doing? Are you deflecting? And so the girls, the other girls are in the other room, right? So now you have Kiki, she's joined the group. So Kiki and Tisha and Kimmy, and they bring up the whole issue again that happened at Mel's place with the party, right? So Kimmy is just like, she said, I don't understand why grown people just can't agree to disagree. We take situations and we make them so enormous that it really doesn't make sense. And then, they bring up the whole party. And Kiki said, well, this is my issue with you, Kimmy, because Kiki felt like the reason her and Tisha are in a bad place is because of Kimmy, because she feels like Kimmy went back and instigated the situation. Tisha said that she doesn't feel like Kiki instigated the situation. She just came back and told me what you said. And now, and she said what you said in front of a room full of people. And so now Kiki said, well, me and Leticia had a relationship, but now you and Kiki, now let me get this right, because it was too many words. Kiki was saying her and Leticia had a relationship. Now that Kimmy and Leticia has this relationship, it's like almost like their relationship is non-existent. It's because of what she went back and said. And she said also, you only brought up what I said, but you didn't bring up what Stormy said. But Kimmy asked Kiki a question like, but if everybody in the room said what you said about your cousin, they said everybody said what Kiki said about your cousin Leticia. So everybody is wrong and you the only one that's right? And Kiki said yes. What everybody said was wrong, but what she said was right. She said because they over exaggerated the conversation. And I was like, okay. So then Kiki brings up the whole Stormy. You want to talk about what I said, but you didn't bring up what Stormy said. And then Kimmy was like, Tisha, didn't I not bring up what Stormy said to you too? Tisha was just like, well, I really don't remember, but I think you may have said something about it. Because I know only thing because Tisha said she didn't really know Stormy. So whatever Stormy had to say, it really didn't matter. And what Stormy was talking about, the whole picture and the deflection and all that stuff about the marriage, and he probably cheated, but it's a deflection, all that, whatever. Y'all, that was a whole deal too. But Tisha's whole deal is, I didn't know Stormy. I really wasn't focused on what Stormy had to say. My main thing is you, Kiki, because, we're family. So everything resonated with me because of the fact that we family. And now, so while they're talking and they're kind of getting loud, and the rooms are right beside each other. So they were in the other room. Now this is Stormy them in their room. And so the girls was like, what? So they talking about me? So we need to go over there. And then, here go Mel. Ooh, what they doing? What they talking about? Okay, well, let's just go on over here. Come on, baby. Come on, telling Tiffany, come on, baby. Because, she pregnant. So they walk into the room, right? And so Melody talking about, ooh, it's nice in here. Tell my girl, Melody, you want to hear the gossip while you sitting over there trying to talk about it's nice in here. Okay, so everybody sits down. And now the whole focus is basically Kiki and Tiffany. Even though Stormy went over there and she was talking about, they saying my name, I need y'all to be talking about me while I'm here. I don't need y'all to be talking about me when I'm not here. So, okay, I got to get my notes right. So, they sit down, right? Stormy said, y'all bringing me up. I want to, let me know whatever we do. I already said that part. And then they start to say, well, Kiki gets up because she was eating. She said, I wanted to relax, but now I can't relax. So now I'm glad that everybody here so we can put all this stuff on the table because I was trying to relax. They said, we was trying to relax too. So what's really going on? And now they were saying, okay, Kiki said that she wanted to address everything that was going on because she wanted to have a real conversation. And then Tiffany goes off into, like, it's really sad what you said about Leticia. You know, when she was looking at it, because she wasn't there, I guess she was looking back on the TV when they had that whole conversation when Leticia had started crying. And she was just like, that was a real moment. And she was like, you all are family. You put friends before your family. And Tiffany was saying that she didn't think that that was right. And Kiki was saying that she doesn't think that it's fair that you could really come at me and talk about what I'm doing when you really don't even know what was going on. You wasn't even there. And while they were going back and forth, Stormy kept saying she pregnant, she pregnant. Now, this is a bit of information that I had saw when I seen Leticia on Carlos King show. And while Stormy was saying she pregnant, Kiki had said, but her mouth ain't pregnant, but they cut that part out. And I really wish they would have showed it because that would have been a key, okay? But she was just saying, Tiffany was like, no, I wasn't there, but help me to understand what is really going on. Because if we're family and you're pretty much throwing me under the bus, I want to know what's going on. And Kiki still was saying, like, you don't know what it really was. You don't know what life was like and all of that stuff. And Tiffany was like, well, I don't know. And probably because I don't have a lot of cousins and aunties and all that stuff. And then she said, well, help me to understand. And she said, well, yeah, you don't understand. So help me to understand. And so that's when it was a whole to be continued. So I'm just like, child, now I know I probably messed that whole conversation up. But the gist of the conversation was Tiffany don't like Kiki. Stormy went over there to figure out what they was talking about her, but they really couldn't get into Stormy because Tiffany was the main one that was trying to get the party started, talking about how you gonna do Tisha like that. And she's supposed to be your family. Y'all been knowing her all these years. You gonna throw her really under the bus pretty much to get on this TV show. And Melody was over there looking like this, and Kiki was over there, and Kimmy was over there looking like this, and Tisha, she was just kind of looking like, okay. So that's pretty much it. They probably gonna put more context on what's going on because they were saying that it was gonna be a whole lot. Whoo! But yeah. So it looks like it's gonna be a whole lot of this. They always have to go back into the past a lot of times to do these storylines. But I guess since ain't nobody never really had no real scenes with Kiki, they never really had the chance to give her a piece of their mind. So now they just giving Kiki a piece of her mind of how she did Tisha. That almost reminded me about when Portia and Candy had got into it, and then Nene got back on the show and talking about you need to, what she said, you need to get some of what you did to Candy. And Candy was like, why everybody want to fight about me? But I mean, it's almost the same kind of little situation or whatever. But anyway, y'all, this Sheila B. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I know I probably forgot a whole lot. I know I did. Charge to my head and my heart emojis. Let y'all have a great day. Bye.